Clutch Trucker filmed before a live and fuzzy studio audience. Yep, that is Rusty, the world-famous meatball dog. And I'll explain this again. I've explained it in a few videos, why he's the meatball dog. People keep asking me. That's just an old family expression. Because when I was growing up, if you were being silly or obnoxious as a kid, my parents would say, "You're being a meatball." And so that's where that comes from, because he's always being silly and obnoxious. So he's being a meatball dog. And the world famous part comes from when my brother, my friend John Branch did that article on me last year in the New York Times, all about trucking through the pandemic and everything. Then Rusty, of course, became world famous, and people from all over the world started following. So that's why he is the world famous meatball dog. And now you know. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. Here we are, Rusty and I parked at the Petro in Monee, Illinois. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced. M-O-N-E-E. How else would you pronounce that? Monee. Anyway, got to deliver over in University Park, which is literally like 2 miles away, up the road in the morning with our load of lumber that we picked up in Camden, New Jersey. And of course the GPS, Garmin's telling me it's going to take 15 miles to get there. It's literally 2 miles away. There's got to be a shorter route I can take. I'm sure it's trying to make sure, it's trying to make sure I'm always on truck routes and all that, but there's got to be a little bit shorter way to go. Anyway, I'm really close to it. Picked this up on Wednesday, I guess it was, yeah, because I had my 2 deliveries at the shop right there in Philadelphia on Tuesday that went to hell, and I said, just put me for tomorrow, and they found this load picking up in New Jersey, and of course then that one turned into a big cluster mug. Picking up at Delaware River, Steve Doors, S-T-E-V-E-D-O-R-E-S, Doris, Steve Doris, I don't know, at the dock, essentially. The New Jersey dock there in Camden. So, I knew it was only like a 750, 800 mile run anyway, initially 850, because I was going to avoid the tollways and stuff. So I knew I didn't have to pick it up early. I had a window of 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then I didn't deliver until Friday morning, which is tomorrow morning. Well, it's today now, because here it is after midnight, the 6th on Friday of May, that I'll deliver at 9 a.m. So I'm like, I got plenty of time, so I'm sleeping in. I'm going to get some extra rest, And so I got up, got all ready to go. Took Rusty out, was all ready to leave there, and then I come back to the truck, and there's like 3 messages from Turquoise Trucking, and I'm like, okay, something's up. They're like, well, the GPS, they have a GPS thing mounted on my trailer. Shows you're still in Bordentown. Are you still there? I'm like, yeah, I'm still here. And they're like, oh, well, thank God, don't leave. I'm like, okay, I was literally just about to pull out. Well, this was an ArcBest load, and I've complained about ArcBest before. When they're good, they're good. When they're bad, they're bad. And they said, well, ArcBest is saying something about the receiver, their credit's bad, and they haven't been paying, and blah, blah, blah. So that load's now been canceled. And I'm like, yeah, of course it has. I said, well, thank God I hadn't moved yet, because I had paid for that spot. If you watched my last video, I had to buy that stupid tax shaver and everything else to yada, yada, anyway. So I have that spot until 3 p.m. I'm like, well, I've got this space until 3 p.m., so fine. Go ahead, find me something else. And so I figured, well, I'm going to run inside. They do have an Arby's there at that Bordentown, New Jersey. I don't remember that from before. I don't go there a lot, but I was kind of craving Arby's, so I'm like, yeah, I'll go in. I got myself the French dip. Oh, yeah. I love the dip, baby. Thank you. So I come back out, and I'm just about to start eating that, and then I get another call. They're saying, okay, no, that's back on. Apparently they resolved the issues, and so, yeah, you're still going to go pick that one up if you want it. I'm like, oh, fine. That's fine with me, because they had been trying to find other loads and nothing was really paying all that well. And so I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take the load, I'll go get it. So finish my lunch and all that, and I move over there, and this is the dock, and I don't have a TWIC card anymore. I used to have a TWIC card. And you're saying, what's a TWIC card? This is a TWIC card. I used to have the old design on the left when I worked for well companies. Apparently, that's what it looks like on the right now. That's the new design, but I don't have either one now. It stands for Transportation Worker Identification Credential. TWIC. T-W-I-C. It's usually only required if you're picking up at a dock somewhere. And when I worked for well companies years ago, WEL, as you may have seen their see their trucks every now and then. It was all reefer, and sometimes we'd pick up loads of bananas at the docks in like New Jersey or Galveston, Texas or something, and you had to have a TWIC card to go onto the docks and go pick up your load. Well, I only go to on a dock every once in a blue moon. It's not very often. Last time was probably over a year ago. I know it was right after COVID started. I was down in Alabama somewhere and I had to pick up at a dock. So then if you don't have a TWIC card, you have to pay for an escort. I think this is one of the biggest scams in the trucking industry. It's a lot up there, right up there with lumpers, which is another one of the biggest scams ever. Lumpers. Yeah, they're going to pay you to unload my trailer at a place where they're buying the stuff? Yeah, no. Anyway, that's aside. So it's the same sort of thing. I don't have a TWIC card. I don't have a current one. So you got to pay an escort. And they want $75 to escort you to the dock to the right location. So then it was back and forth with ArcBest saying, all right, who's going to pay for this? I'm not paying for this. I'm not picking up this load and this is covered, blah, blah, blah. So this whole load just turned into a giant cluster mug. I finally ended up paying with a debit card. I got a receipt, so they're going to reimburse me on that. But still, it's just a big mess. Finally, got out of there, of course, just in time for rush hour traffic in Philadelphia. That's fun. Then drove as far as I could all night, and then I made it to, I was trying to make the County Line Travel Plaza in Columbia City, Indiana, or near Columbia City, Indiana. And then I was just going to finish the drive early tomorrow morning. But then I had something 11 years ago called Necratizing Fasciitis. If you don't know what it is, it's a nasty, nasty thing. Flesh-eating bacteria. I had it on my right leg. It ate off most of the flesh on the inside of my right leg. And nasty stuff. Had to be on huge, major antibiotics. Had to have a PICC line, if you don't know what that is. That's where you have an antibiotic line feeding directly into your heart. You have to have connected, you know, this was a whole thing. And then I got into trucking right after that. So the problem is this kind of keeps sneaking back up every now and then. And it did right after COVID started last year. I've got a video all about this when I was stuck in Bloomsburg, I think, Pennsylvania. And my left hand had swelled up real bad like a balloon. And I had to get antibiotics for that. Luckily anymore, it doesn't get to the point where I need the antibiotics, but every now and then something happens. I had this part right up here on my forehead swelled up and was oozing, which meant it was the infection again. Late last night while I was driving, and it always just wipes me out, makes me super tired. So I pulled over at a rest area in Convoy, Ohio, and I slept for like 16 hours. Luckily, had extra time to play with on this run, and when I got up tonight, Thursday night, this little area had gone back down and all the oozing had stopped, and so I think I'm past that part. It's just an annoying thing I unfortunately have to keep putting up with every now and then. Necratizing fasciitis, once you have it, apparently it never completely goes away. Look it up, it's nasty stuff. And if it ever gets to the point, like I say, where parts of your body, usually it's your hands or your legs or whatever, start swelling up, get your ass to the hospital, because that's what you got, and it will kill you if you don't get treated. Luckily anymore, I don't have to panic unless something swells up, but I had this little area that was oozing, and I slept for 16 hours, and now I seem to be okay. So we've all got our crap to deal with. This is the one, unfortunately, I have to always kind of keep dealing with. It kind of sucks. Like I say, it seems to be doing better now. I went ahead and I got up after sleeping 16 hours and finished my drive and came over here to Monier, Illinois, and I deliver early in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. Like I said, this is one of those things I just have to kind of watch. If this kind of in the next few days, over the next week, comes back again and starts to become an issue again, and any part of my body starts swelling up, I got to get myself to an urgent care and get some medication like right away. Or as they say in the medical industry, stat, right? You got to get it stat. It's just one of those obnoxious things, and I know a lot of you guys have certain different things you have to deal with. This is unfortunately one I have to, even though it happened 11 years ago, I have to kind of still deal with. Every few months, it seems, this kind of comes back again, and it's a giant pain in the ass, but, you know, it doesn't keep me from working. Luckily, I had time on this trip to get extra rest, and I think that seems to have done the trick. So, we're going to deliver at 9 o'clock over with this load of lumber is what it was I picked up at the docks in University Park. And when I came here to the Petro tonight, there was a couple of things I wanted to buy with points. You know, I keep talking about the TA Ultra 1 points program. If you get to the level 5 every month, you can rack up those points real quick. One thing I've been meaning to buy is the plug-in for my headset, that came with my Blue Tiger. I like my Blue Tiger headset, by the way, but the charging cord on it's very short. And of course, it always seems to die on me when I'm in the middle of a phone call, and then I have to plug it into my USB outlet up here on the dash. So there's my USB plug. Right now, it's got my light in it for my videos, and little Sully's down there in front guarding everything for me. But then it's just a very short cord. So if I have to have the cord connected to that while I'm plugged in, I end up having to hang over the steering wheel while I'm driving. I always say I'm tethered. I've been meaning to buy a longer cord for a long time for that, but I just always keep forgetting. Well, since I had talked to my wife earlier and that happened, the headset died, I'm like, I got to remember to try to buy another cord. So I got an 8-foot one here. This is what Core Tech micro USB is what I need for the headset on this end, and it's 8 feet long. So if I have to plug it in while I'm driving, at least I don't have to hang over my steering wheel. So that's one thing I bought with points for a big, $11. And I bought some scrub blades. What I tend to do is during the winter months, I tend to run the ones that are on there now, those single beam type windshield wipers, because the ice and snow doesn't get caught up in those, in the frame part of it. I love the scrub blades, but you see they have the frame, and ice and snow will get caught up in here in this area, and then it won't wipe evenly. So for the winter months, I don't like the scrub blades. But for the summer months, I like the scrub blades because they do a better job of getting rid of the bug droppings, the bird poop, and all that. They even have a little thing down here at the bottom which kind of cracks me up. They're showing you the different stuff it gets rid of. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see it, but they have a little bird here, so I'm meaning bird droppings. And what is this? They have like snow. It doesn't do all that good on snow. They have a cricket down here. And they have, what is this? This is like some sort of splotch. I think it's just like bug splotch is what that's supposed to be. And they even have a cutout here. You can feel the scrubbing pieces, the little triangles on there. Yeah, well, I don't care. But they do work better. I can honestly say that. And they started selling them in truck stops. Oh, about 6 years ago is when I first started seeing them. They're pretty proud of them though at the truck stops. They want like $25 for each one. So, I always tend to try to buy them with points because I'm not willing to spend the money, real money on them, but they do work well. Let me pull one out here for you so you can take a look. And of course, it comes with instructions. Like, yeah, I've replaced millions of these, it seems like. They all have the same type of, thing that work well. But like I say, for ice and snow, see, the ice and snow will get caught up in here. And then it'll do this. It'll do it where then the ice gets packed in there and now it won't wipe evenly. So they're only good for the summer months, but I do like the scrub blades, so bought a pair of those, and I bought my cord, all with points. No need to spend cash. If I'm going to be, loyal to TAs and Petros and fill it up and do your program, I'm maxing out your program and I'm going to get every damn thing out of it I can. I'm not going to show putting the scrub blades on. I actually have a video from like a year and a half ago or something where I showed putting them on. And around the same time I put on my Watch Clutch Trucker on YouTube signs, I think is when I did my video all about the scrub blades. So yeah, you want to see me putting them on and show them and everything, and then I'll show you how to do that. If you don't know how to change wiper blades on your truck, maybe you shouldn't be driving one, I'm just saying. I just kind of wanted to update on things and, yeah, show a couple of the extra things about with points and all that, right, Rusty? And, and somebody said on the other one, why didn't I buy begging strips for Rusty at the Petro Bordentown? Petros and TAs don't sell begging strips, unfortunately. I know the Sapp brothers always do, and unfortunately I'm out, so I gotta find a different kind of snack for you tonight for helping me out, because I'm out of begging strips. I know it's the end of the world. After I get loaded again tomorrow, whatever that may be, I'll try to find a Dollar General, Rusty, to get you some more bacon strips, okay? Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please like and comment if you would like to, only if you'd like to. I get to your comments. Sometimes takes a day or two because I'm a working truck driver. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so you know when the new videos come out or when we go live. And don't forget about Clutch Trucker at Instagram, Clutch Trucker at Twitter. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. I tried to think of the most innocent thing I could think of. Something that could never harm us. It's from my childhood. It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. We're out of bacon strips, so tonight it's the chili cheese Fritos. He does like these. There's a couple there. You want them? Chili? He's got to sniff them first. You know you like these. Here, down in your bowl. Go eat them. Chili cheese Fritos. I know, it's not a bacon strip. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not a bacon strip. It's a treat.